Peace, Sankofa. It's Rakim from Boston, Massachusetts.
Say it loud. I do it for my people. I'm black and proud. I do it for my people. Say it loud. I do it for my people. I'm black and proud. I do it for my people. Say it loud. I do it for my people. I'm black and proud. I do it for my people. Say it loud. I do it for my people. I'm black and I'm proud. I do it for my people. I'm black and I'm proud. Making it now. Future's now, the future's now. I'm black and I'm proud. Making it now. The future's now, the future's now. I'm African American. You see my skin, you see the melanin. There'll never be another black president again. Boo-hoo, we don't need Obama. Already had enough of drama. What'd he do? They say killed Osama. What'd he do? He ain't say yo mama. Time for war, you better have your armor. Stay strapped, you better keep that llama. Line them up just like Obama. Going out just like a martyr. Warriors, I can't hear you.
Soon said he's the Bible TV.
Where my warriors, I can't see you. Where my warriors,
what's up? Death to the Negro.
I can't hear you.
Brother Reggie, we on the front line, man.
Where my
Brother
warriors, I
Sankofa,
can't see you.
what up?
Peace and black power, all right? Shout out to the viewership out there for tuning in once again to Barber TV, which you know is fire every time. Right now, we on 125th Street, Harlem, as always, with your brother Sankofa, the spokesman for the House of Consciousness. I'm here with two brothers. These brothers are diligent as far as it coming to seeking knowledge and then wanting to apply that knowledge to their life to make changes in their life for the better, okay? These brothers, two brothers right here, are from my hometown, which most people who are familiar with me by now know that I'm an honorary New Yorker, but I am from Boston, Mass. Born and raised, proud to say it, and wear Roxbury and Dorchester on my sleeve. These two young brothers right here, okay, have traveled out here just to come here to check out the platform. You know, some people travel to different cities to go to see a show. And it's all right, I used to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Because some major people or major figures that they look up to and hold with a high regard and high esteem, they want to go there and spend money, to go watch them, all right? Here it is. We don't have no major stage. Our stage is 125th Street. I don't see myself as no celebrity. I mean, any brother who's in this that is humble and diligent, you shouldn't see yourself as a celebrity, but a lot of people do look up to us and give us a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Like on a celebrity status kind of way. You know what I mean? My point in saying that is to say this. I respect the diligence for the youth. They're coming out here just to stand up here and watch it. You could have been watching it on YouTube. They said, we're not waiting for it to come out on YouTube. We want to go there and live and see it because we're infused with the power, the passion of the message, the healing and the message, okay? The transformation, okay, that can be manifested through applying the knowledge in this message. You know what I mean? So these brothers that come out here from my hometown especially, you know, I'm definitely very touched that you brothers out here. How old are you, by the way, brother?
24.
And this is your brother right here. Y'all tall. They look like the Twin Towers compared to me. I look like Tower number 7, the short one that got left.
I'm 19.
19? Wow, man, I got jackets older than you, man. I definitely got books older than you. Now, that's good, though. So it goes to show you what we're doing on this platform, whether people agree with it, disagree with it, don't like the methodology, think that it's too controversial or there's too many points of contention and there's too much disagreeableness. Outside of your opinion, and I do respect it because we are entitled to it, and to some extent, some of those opinions are correct. But we got to look at the pros and the cons. We got to kind of look at the flip side of the coin to this. Look at the impact. People who we don't even know, who we don't even see, thousands of them, 100,000, probably even millions of them are being inspired. They're hearing this message and they're changing. They're not turning up. They're rising up. They're raising up. They're making a transition in their perspective of themselves and in the world in which they exist in. You know, I want to ask you, how long have you been pursuing this knowledge? What inspired you? And tell, not me, but the viewership, why you think this is important, especially for the youth.
Peace, Sankofa. It's Rakim from Boston, Massachusetts. how me and my brother came into it, honestly, we was young. Our father was around, and our fathers used to give us so much game when we was younger that by the time we got older, it was natural that we gravitated towards this type of platform right here, you know? And Sankofa and Star Kim said something real over there. We gotta just go back to the basics. Cause like when we be talking about how we're gonna, you know, fight this war against white supremacy, whatever you wanna call it, it's just a matter of just going back to the basics and just unplugging yourself from that system and only interfacing with them when you should, to the point where we even gotta interface with them at all. So for instance, like, it's like when people talk about revolution could be something as small as just putting your money in a black bank, or just eating at black restaurants, or just having like some money waiting for your kids when they turn 18 so that they can take that money and go straight to school or start a business, so that they're not looking for a loan, they're not looking for a job, they can just rely on themselves, you know? And so like I said, I mean, I came into this consciousness back from when I was young. My father used to always remind me and my brother that the system is designed for you to fail. It is what it is. But at the same time, I don't try to be a, be a victim. I don't try to victimize myself. I'm just gotta just be objective and just be real with what's around me and only deal with it when I should, you know? So I think it's just a matter of just, you know, just taking it one day at a time, working on your diet, preserving that money in the community, because we need dough. We need that money. And that's it, man. I ain't trying to be too deep, too long with it.
Why do you think that the platform, and not just the platform, but the message from the people bringing the message on the platform is important? You being a youth, speak from yourself, your perspective, your gender. I was young too one time. I came into consciousness back in 1989, 1990, okay? I was on punishment. My mother wouldn't let me watch TV, took the TV out my room. You know, we from Dorchester in Boston, so y'all know the Grove Hall section, Blue Hill Ave. That's where I'm from. You know, it was a wild time back then. She wanted to keep me away from all the nonsense, the gunplay, all the different vultures and the pitfalls that was out there. So to punish me, she didn't want me to watch TV. You know, she works with the educational system, the Boston school system. So my mother wasn't playing when it came to them books and studying. So she let me read a book called Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't watch TV. I had to go to school and come straight home. She wasn't playing. And I was on punishment for 3 months. I did some knucklehead stuff and she wasn't playing. Them 3 months at the age of 14 set me on a path, okay, or a quest and a journey for knowledge that would help me to evolve and re-evolve into becoming who I am and who I'm still becoming as I'm evolving. And I'm grateful for my mother for putting me on punishment, okay? When she did that, it was like I was in jail. My boys used to clown me, come ring the bell. He can't come outside. He's studying. I'll have to read the book, and my mother wasn't playing. She'll quiz me on the book. She'll question me on it to make sure I actually studied it, and I wasn't sitting there acting like I was just reading while I was, you know what I'm saying, doing something else, you know, idling around, you know? So I was walking around. I had got introduced and came into Islam at a young age through the Ansarullah community then. So I was on punishment, walking around the house with a kufi on, doing push-ups, reading a book like I was in jail. My boys was clowning me when I came out, telling me, yo, Gary, that's my government handle. Yo, what's up? My name is Hakeef. My name ain't Gary no more. You know what I mean? They're like, damn, nigga. Yo, your mom misformed put you on punishment that long? Nigga, you turned Muslim on punishment? It was just funny. But I'm grateful, Mom, and I love you for that. Now, fast forward to you. This is a different era. Back then, consciousness was reflected in the music. You had the Brand Nubians, you had the X-Clan, you had Queen Latifah, you had Lakim Shabazz, you had, even people that was B-boy rappers had some consciousness. Rakim, Rakim, like your name? Rakim Allah. You coming up. Your brother already expounded on how y'all got introduced. How would you rate the level of importance of this message, all of these messages, as it pertains to the youth, especially the youth nowadays with so much homosexuality, so much lack of culture and spiritual astuteness? How would you rate this level of importance and why?
I would say the two main things are, whatever comes in your way, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it, and don't be angry from it. Those are the two things. Don't let emotions form your reality. Don't base everything you do off of how you feel. Some things are fact, and you gotta move off of facts. So I think those two are first. Those two main things are first. And I think, especially the older people talking to the younger people, it wasn't much of that back then, during the crack era and during things. This is the post, so it's still bad, but things are getting better. The internet's out. People could, learn different things. So it's good that it's still at home. People could still verbally tell each other. You don't have to go on the internet and learn everything. There's still people that are conscious that are out in the streets doing interviews like this, out with the public, watching that organic, straight, that real feel of I'm here speaking to you, not trying to pull you in and force you to learn. It's just I want you to be aware, because there's going to come a time where things are going to happen to everybody. The biggest things in your life are going to happen. So just be aware of how, how to move off things, basically. And it's real good that the older people are dropping jewels for us young dudes, and we need to listen. And they need to respect the younger people if they don't agree and see things yet. People need to take their time, and it's all about progress. It's not about just getting there, just work. As long as you're working and progressing, it doesn't matter how big it is. As long as you're making an impact in the future is the point. So that's really it.
Hey, and then you heard it from the youth. Last night we was in Edenwald. Edenwald is a housing development, housing projects in the northeast section of the Bronx. One of the biggest and at one time, one of the worst housing developments in New York City, which has a lot of projects. You know what I mean? So a lot of the social ills, a lot of the decadence, a lot of the despair, a lot of the disenfranchisement, a lot of everything that you see that translates into the social ills that you see plaguing our communities are concentrated more so in the lower in the lower economic communities, the housing developments, more so than anywhere. I mean, look at the word project. A project is what? An experiment. Like a science project. So when it's called a project, what this is an experiment. But what kind of experiment was it? It was a social experiment. Let's be honest. The housing development wasn't initially designed for black people at one point. A lot of us was in the south, in the rural southern areas, and we started to come up into the north, and they were just starting to be built more in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s after World War II, and it was built primarily for white people, especially white women, whose husbands were in war or out of job because after the Great Depression and all of that and the economic collapse, there was affordable housing built for them. It wasn't even for us. See, when the FHA started giving the Caucasian money, grants and loans to build up, which became suburbia today, okay? Caucasians who, whether their ancestors owned slaves or not, because the Italian like to say, hey, even though I hate niggers, I don't owe you nothing because my ancestors didn't enslave you. We're not from England. But they were still able to benefit off of the blood, sweat, tears, the free labor that my ancestors put into making this with their free labor, one of the most powerful corporations, not country, because America's a corporation, corporations in the country. So they benefit off of us. They think they're better than us. They hate us. They was here in the projects and in the ghettos before we was, especially in Harlem. You had the Dutch. Then you had the Jews. Then you had the, you know what I'm saying? You even had the Italians here. I mean, on 135th Street and Lenox Ave, which is Malcolm X Boulevard, I like to call it, or 6th Avenue, the first area where black people started moving in is before the Harlem History Club, the Harlem Renaissance, was 135th Street. How that happened was a black family that moved into a building. Okay? You got in there somehow. The people that was upstairs, that was Jewish or other European descents, they moved out. Another black family moved up there. People up there moved out in the building next door. They all moved out. Black folks moved into that building. Next thing you know, there's more they moved in. The white man moved out. Malcolm X said this: there will never be integration or integrated community, because when you move in, the white man moves right out. They call that the great white flight that took place when they started moving us into these ghettos. And what they did is they start putting money in it for maintenance. They start putting money in it because that's what it's supposed to be, government sector housing, and they abandoned us, and it became what you see now. The death, the destruction, the decadence. We come from Boston. Like, it ain't too much different from there. We got a lot of housing developments. They tore down and gentrified a lot of it over the last 20, 30 years. We got some of the oldest projects in the country. Columbia Point, Orchard Park projects, Bromley Heath, where the community took over and had first community control over a housing development was Columbia Point projects in the 1960s up in Dorchester. But what happened was the decadence, the death, and the despair, because we were concentrated in these areas, okay, and this was purposely done for self-destructive purposes to destroy us. We are undesirable elements of society, and it's not to play victim, to blame yourself, to be fearful. You know what I'm saying? It's not for none of that. It's to be aware, okay, of what you're facing, because when you're going in and to take a test and you didn't study for that test, you're going to fail that test all the time. Okay? So since we are being tested on a lot of levels, socially, economically, and politically speaking, we need to study history. Not just to study history and be elated that we know dates, times, names, faces, and places. No, but knowing that we understand it from a scientific level, a social scientific level, and we know what to plan for, how to prepare, what opposition we're facing, why we're in the situation we're in, how it got to be that point, and how we can start to untangle the tentacles that we're all tied up in. Does that make sense? That's what this consciousness is for. I can only speak for myself. I don't give a damn about winning a debate. I come from the Hebrew Israelite school. A lot of brothers, but why don't you go in on the Hebrew Israelites enough? Because I first came out and said why Sankofa, why I left the Hebrew Israelites. To give you an introduction to me. I had been conscious 20-something years before I did that video a couple of years ago. But to give people on YouTube, people on the streets that know me for years, know me and know what it is. But to give an introductory, I had to talk about my journey and my path into consciousness, into African-centered spirituality and Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? However, I don't go in on the Israelites all the time. I believe that was a step in a path of my journey of life. Okay? And I believe that it gave me soldiering skills, level of discipline, understanding the necessity and the critical value of brotherhood, a sense of nationalism, okay? And then principles upon which to live by to make yourself a better man. So, and I can't knock them for that. I'm not going to keep going at the Hebrew Israelites, although I have studied things that have pointed me in a different direction as far as ideological perspectives go. I still respect the essence and the good in that school of thought in which I came from. My thing is black liberation. I don't talk about Kemet all day, because I'm not a Kemet priest and I'm not a Kemetologist. I do extract certain aspects of truth from Kemet that we have to value the mind state behind Kemet. Not just the monument, but the mind state behind the people that built the monuments and the greatness, that which made them great. I extract the knowledge for that. But I am a Pan-Africanist. I am a person that deals with 19th, 18th, 19th, and 20th century black power, liberation, ideology, and nationalism perspectives to heal us and our pathologies and to fix what is broken today in real time. I'm not going to live in Jerusalem. I'm not going to live in Kemet. We're right here. So we have to utilize the knowledge, and there is knowledge that we can apply now on a scientific level and apply to make us great again, and not just talk about 10,000 years ago and relish over the greatness from 10,000 years ago, but manifest that greatness back into reality again. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, well, he's long-winded. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I am. Because we've been brainwashed for a goddamn long time. We've been brainwashed more longer than Sankofa is long-winded. So I'm not long-winded because I'm trying to talk you to death. No, black people. No, black people. I'm long-winded because I'm trying to talk you to life. The long-windedness is passion and a lot of years of acquired knowledge because of this passion and love for self and kind. You know what I mean? So if you're really listening and you're interested in right knowledge and how to apply it to right the wrongs and to change the conditions, not that Sankofa thinks he has all the goddamn answers. I'm humble enough and intelligent enough to know I don't, but I am a spoke in his wheel of change. I am a soldier on the front line. I am a spokesman, not just for the House of Consciousness. I don't get too caught up in that. That can change one day. But I'm definitely a spokesman for black people in general. And a duty of a conscious person is to speak about and articulate the sentiments of black people collectively. So I don't use this consciousness for a photo op. or just to get in front of a camera and sound deep. I can give a damn about that. And I said it before. If YouTube never existed and the white man banned this platform for ever utilizing YouTube again, Sankofa will still be out here reaching out to the people, reaching out to the youth, in the housing projects, in the gutters, in the alleys, in the universities, wherever I can go to make this knowledge born to the people. Because this is my birthright. I was born into this fight, and at a young age, I knew what my calling was supposed to be. And I'm willing to die tonight for that which I believe in. A lot of people say that, they don't mean that. I don't give a damn. I can't be compromised. I cannot be bought out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go out as a soldier for this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I was born to do. The two most important times in your life is when you're born and when you find out why you were born. I knew where I was born a long time ago. And in this journey, I'm still evolving and finding my greater potentials. I'm becoming wiser. I'm becoming more astute. And believe it or not, some people they disagree because of my passion, even more humbler. I'm willing not to talk about and get too much caught up in all the drama in the conscious community like that. All the division. Because I see what's going on. I see what we're facing. This shit is serious, man. This shit is serious. There's nothing wrong with intellectual discourses, but it's getting too out of hand with certain people. It's not just a debate. We're rivals? Nah, man, the white man is our enemy. White supremacy is an enemy. Even the niggas in black faces that are gatekeepers of this are the enemy. That's what we need to be talking about, and we shouldn't be talking about everything on camera. Excuse my passion. For some people, if it's too long-winded, God damn it, go watch something else. Go watch something that's talking about drama. Go watch Gossip Girls, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you. This is for people who are serious about black liberation, freedom, justice, and equality, truth and knowledge being manifested to change our conditions. These crackers are not playing. They're not playing. They go study for years in school. They listen to lectures for hours and take notes from their teachers and their leaders. They are planning and preparing. But we're not doing that. A lot of us are playing with this, and we better stop playing. But if you are going to play, nigga, you better play to win. Because the devil is not playing with us. The cracker is not playing with you. And I love the youth. Now, some people might say this was an interview. It wasn't an interview. I brought these brothers up here because the brother, you said that, I don't really got much to say. I don't want to talk a lot. I just want to stand there and hold you down from Boston. I'm glad to be here. So I like to bring the brothers here just to show that the conscious community, especially the elders in there, I'm a young elder. I'm not that old. I'm only 40-something. You know what I'm saying? And the youth, we got that connection. The hip-hop era youth, they need to see this. They're already attracted to the message, but they need to see this in real time. Color, sound, emotion. The youth with the elders. You know what I'm saying? Bridging the gap. Because part of the division, okay, between us, we're divided along a lot of lines. Not just class, not just complexion. Hey, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. All right. Yeah, that's mine. You can go get those. Okay? Hey, and that's my briefcase, too. That's my briefcase. Come on, Herman Smalls. You too big to be acting like that, Herman. I'm joking. Yeah, so back to the point at hand. We like to show that because the people need to see this. This truth and this message is bigger than any of us. It's bigger than Sarnetta. It's bigger than Baba TV. It's bigger than Black Power Cartel. It's bigger than any of us. A shout out to Sarah Seti, the general, who is a goddamn disparaging that he didn't get nominated for an award at the Black Power Awards. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that alone. A lot of controversy surrounded that. I'm down with all y'all, and I'm not taking nobody's side. This is just Sankofa's individual perspective. You know what I'm saying? We got to give credit where it's due. And when it's not given, God damn it, it's upon us to give it where it's due. We need to have the real Black Power Awards. You know what I'm saying? Whole nother topic for a whole nother day. This is the spirit leading me to a different topics. You know how your brother do. But Baba, it's about time for me to surmise from the topic right now. I got other engagement and other endeavors to do. I got things to do tomorrow. I got a lecture in Connecticut. Shout out to Connecticut. Money Craven, Gun Waving, New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford. You know what I'm saying? Waterbury, the Dirty Waters. We out there. Shout out to my brother Heru out there doing the work. We have HOK. This is what Sankofa does behind the scenes that y'all don't know about. Baba can attest. This is what Sankofa does. I outreach to the people. I be in the hood in different cities, outreaching to the youth. okay, doing youth outreach initiatives. HOK Connecticut is doing things. They're on the ground out there. Yo, hold that down for me, G. That's mine. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? They're on the ground. They just had a food drive and a clothing drive just a few weeks ago. This ain't documented because everything we do ain't documented and don't always need to be. But we're going to document some just for the naysayers out there, and not just for them, for those who are serious and want to support and align themselves with people who are doing it. It ain't just to show off this what we doing. But for those who are serious, we're going to be documenting that. You know what I'm saying? HOK is doing big things, but you know what? It's not just about us, black people. It's about the collective objective. You got to be part of the change. Don't just wait for us to teach. Don't just tune in to YouTube to see what we got to say. Become part of it proactively on whatever level you can with whatever resources that you have to do it. Okay? Sometimes being revolutionary is just changing your mind or some bad habits that you got. Every journey starts with a first step, and your first step better be in the right direction. All right? On that note, I want to give a shout out to Brother Reggie, Black City Sovereignty Plan. You need to check it out. It's brilliant. We need to have a counter plan for Trump's 4-year plan. Okay? Not just good messages, euphemistic speeches, and pseudoism, because pseudo sells. All right? Peace and black power. This is the unpopular truth coming from your brother Sankofa. Black power.